Come on then. Yummy, yummy birthday cake. But you're enjoying that mouse, aren't you? Look at him queuing behind you. They're all wanting to go. Wow. Are you going to come for some? Come on, garden there. Yeah, for all these berries at the moment. Where's this one going? Wow, absolutely amazing. Clock house. Well, there's a mouse in it already. Brilliant. Wow. Squeak. And somebody's in new Swiss chalet. I don't know if you can see it. They really do look like a cup of tea. Peanut tea. Absolutely amazing. Look at them. You can't get enough of it. Look at them queuing. Queuing at door for Daisy. Oh goodness me. You little beauty. Look at him eating leaf. Guys, absolutely priceless. Wow. Good. Absolutely adorable. Wow, absolutely amazing. Well, he's got a leaf. Dear me. I've made you a little trolley and filled it with peanuts. Perfect for a little mouse. You're going to take one? I'm thinking about it. Too shy. Oh dearie. Wow. That one was really getting stuck in at bottom. Absolutely amazing. Look at him.
Merry morning or magical midnight, wherever, whenever you may be, across the dimensions or around the vibrations. I'm Tilly Treadwell, and oh, have I got a show for you. Won't you join us on The Weird Walk Home? Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Tilly Treadwell, and today I have with me Gerald. He runs a beautiful page that I stumbled across on Facebook. I'm going to add some photos and some links here so that you can maybe get some more context. But Gerald, hello, welcome. Could you please tell us about yourself and how you came to run these pages with the beautiful photography and the wonderful little mice?
Yes, I can tell it. It started I've always been into photography for many years, probably last 20, 25 years. Always really, probably wildlife was my passion, photographing wildlife. And how I stumbled upon these mice back in 2020 during lockdown, COVID lockdown, when we weren't allowed to go out. I decided that we were going to photograph the birds in the garden. We have a vast array of birds that visit every day, squirrels. And while I was, by chance, I were up the garden and spotted a little mouse on decking. So I took a photo. I carried on taking photos for probably a month. And what I used to do is send the photos to my grandchildren, Noah and Minnie. And then one day they said, "Grandad, why don't you start a Facebook page?" I was a bit hesitant at first, and I thought, oh, why not? I'll give it a spin. So back in 2020, I started a Facebook page. We sat around kitchen table one Sunday morning, me and grandchildren, and came up with the name, The Mouse Family That Lived by the Brambles, because where they lived, they were full of brambles and blackberry bushes. And it started there, really. By December 2020, I'd got 5,000 followers, which I thought, wow, amazing. Fast forward to 4 years, where we are now, on all social media channels, that's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, I've just under 400,000 followers. So it's gone absolutely crazy. But I've also been able to raise money for Alzheimer's. My father suffers with Alzheimer's. And during 2021, it weren't as bad as he is now, but it was very forgetful. So I used to fetch him and my mum round to our house on a Sunday for the dinner. And then he used to like go up in garden and he used to watch the mice and count them, which in some small way they were helping him, and they always made him smile and laugh. And obviously since then he's gone into a care home, but I still do my daily videos, and I do videos every day a week, and I still take the videos to show my dad and some of the other residents in the care home, and they still get a smile and a laugh. So, and as I say, I've also raised, the page has helped raise money for Alzheimer's, which I think is brilliant, amazing. And they give people a lot of joy around the world. When people are feeling down, they see a photo of a mouse, a video of a mouse I've done, and it gives them a big smile. For the last 14 months, I've been going live on Facebook every single day, even Christmas Day. We haven't missed a day. And the mice have come out every day, and I go live for around between 5 and 8 minutes, and people tune in. And it's a bit like watching in UK, we call them soaps, like a series that's on every week. Yeah. And people get addicted to it. I think it's the same with mice. That people tune in every single day to watch them, and some of the feedback I get is mind-blowing. In 2022, the BBC contacted me, and I ended up going on to the BBC, their flagship show, evening show, 7 p.m, the One Show. We had a 8-minute clip with a mouse family, which quite amazing. Yeah, it were even narrated by ex-pop star Ronan Keating, which is it's absolutely brilliant. And then a month ago, we were on episode 1 of My Best Friend's an Animal on Sky Nature. We were in episode 1, which has gone worldwide on Sky, and I believe it's called Love Nature TV in North America. And feedback I've had from that is absolutely amazing, and they put a bit of a story together. So they just give loads of people lots of joy, and I just love photographing them. And I have a full-time job, so it's a bit of a release for me as well. My job is quite stressful, so to come home and sit in garden, photograph birds, mice, anything else. As I explained to you earlier, in about probably just under 30 minutes, I have to go outside because I have to start putting food out for foxes that visit and the hedgehogs that visit at night. Now, you might think foxes would attack mice. Well, yes, they would. But I have to feed the foxes down the bottom of the garden. the mice live right at the top of the garden in the wildlife area. And again, we get 4 or 5 hedgehogs every night. I feed them. And I do this 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So, yeah, it's not just about the mice, it's the foxes. And I also share the fox videos on Facebook and on the other social media channels. Because the vixen who had cubs last year and she fetched them into garden, she doesn't live in my garden. She travels to my garden. She's expecting cubs again. I would assume anytime soon, because she's showing a lot now. And she comes every night for a feast. So yeah, it's, as I say, it's just been a whirlwind magical 4 years, really.
I bet. You know, I've only discovered your work recently, but I will say your the mouse family that live by the Brambles, that is my favorite Facebook page of all time now. Because
Thank you.
You are most welcome. That's why I had to invite you on. I don't see a lot of what I would consider magical natural photography. So the angles that you capture, the little expressions on these mice faces, and then the sets that you have, I think are just incredible for them to interact with and live with. They seem happy and well cared for. I'm so blown away. And it reminds me that there still is harmony and beauty in this world, even if it is difficult right now. But I wanted to ask you, can you please tell me about the little houses and the little sets that you have for them?
Yeah, well, we do get birds of prey around garden. We don't get owls, luckily enough, but we do get other birds of prey. So my idea was to build little houses for mice so they can hide. I also built them that log pile. That log pile that I film them in quite a lot has been there for because we made the wildlife garden specifically for the wildlife, the top half of the garden, which is furthest point away from house. We just like go as it is. There's lots of logs in it and everything else. But I built the little houses. Some are recycled from old nest boxes. Some I built from scratch. If I find a log that looks nice, I'll cut holes in it. I'll hollow it out, as I did, I think 2 days ago. I've made a tower house. That's a latest edition, and the mice are using that. But I also built them a little stone wall so they can hide behind. And on top of that, there's some houses, which I've handmade. They've even got a little pub. It's just trying to put a smile on people's face. And I think if I can interact, I make little motorbikes and things from acorns. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I have another page which I started before the mouse page. And I used to make my grandkids acorn people, little acorn people, and it's called Adventures of the Acorn People, and that's the Facebook page.
I think that I am on that one as well. I believe.
Yeah. And some of the props I can use with the mice. So I've got a little motorbike and sidecar. And I just like to interact with them. And sometimes people send me props. I've got a vintage lawnmower that I put out, and the mice look like they're mowing the lawn. So, but I mean, to get these photos and videos is no easy task. I can be sat in garden for hours waiting for just one particular photo.
Right.
I mean, you're on about the uniqueness and the angles. I've just posted a photo. The last photo I posted probably an hour ago is a mouse, and it looked like it was shot that some were out, and I managed to capture them unique moments. But it's all about sitting, and luckily the mice trust me. I'm sure they recognise my voice, because when I go up on an afternoon to do the filming, they come out waiting for some food because they know I'm going to feed them. I do get a lot of messages saying, how many do you have in your house? Well, they never come to us house. And the reason they don't come down to house is they've no need to. They've got a safe haven up the garden. They've got food, shelter. So there's nothing else they could need. And I think the main thing is as well, people don't realise that mice in the wild have such a short lifespan. This I know from filming them over the last 4 years. I mean, from I'll give you an idea. You get a mouse with let's say six baby mice. If one or two of them baby mice make it past first month, they've done extremely well. It is a very hard life. And it's an hard life for a mouse. I've got a couple of old mice that I call Grandpa that are probably over a year old. But my philosophy is they will have the best life they can while ever they live in my garden, however long or short that may be. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not harming anybody. They deserve to live and they deserve a life. And they have got unique personalities without a shadow of a doubt.
Sure, sure. I think that one of the biggest takeaways I have from watching your page especially is that, at least for me, I believe that each moment is precious and
Yes.
each moment has its own lifetime, and that life works in fractals here. And that's what the mice represent to me. It's a beautiful reminder to me to be in the moment as much as I possibly can, and
Yes.
to try to see things maybe from their point of view. Their point of view, life is a lot simpler, you could say, than like the human or another type of lifetime. And maybe sometimes that can be kind of a good thing, kind of a healthy and relieving thing. There's beauty in simplicity, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. As I said, they're just trying to live a life, and I wouldn't say it's an easy life, because everything, unfortunately, as a mouse, everything wants to hunt you. Everything wants to eat you. Yeah. So it can be quite difficult. And that's why I say, if I can give them the best life they can, however long or short that may be, I will do. And I do get attached to them as well. And you get to recognize some. I mean, we've had one little mouse come lately, which had white stripes on it. Quite an amazing, unique little mouse. Trouble is, it only comes out later on, so I don't see that often. But our garden's just full of magic, and it sometimes it blows me away. It really does. And as I say, it's just amazing. While I'm talking to you now, I'm looking out of my back window, and I'm just watching blackbirds chasing each other. We've got 6 on garden at the moment. We've got lots of different bird species who come and nest in garden, and it's just amazing. I even went out yesterday and purchased 2 more apple trees and a plum and a cherry tree with wildlife in mind, because they can then forage on food that grows in garden. We've already got plenty of fruit trees.
Yeah.
So it's all natural food for them. So yeah, but yeah, they are special little creatures. They really are. And so they're just trying to live the life.
Yes.
And they really don't know how famous they are. Well, I think they do with the amount of food they get. But I mean, you've seen the videos, and the coats are so shiny. They're in tip-top condition. They really are. But that's down to special mix I make them, because I do make them a special mix. I call it Yorkshire tea.
I'm so sorry, friend. Pardon me. I'm recovering from
it's all right, no problem.
Yeah. Please continue.
I make them a special mix. I call it Yorkshire tea. It's I collect rose hips from local meadows, and I mix them with peanuts, sunflower hearts, and a paste, and I blend it all up into a blender, into a paste, and I call it Yorkshire tea, and they absolutely love it. But I think that helps the coats why they're so shiny. I really do. I think it's
I agree. I think that they are honestly some of the most beautiful mice that I've personally ever seen, especially given that they're wild mice. I wouldn't have expected that. So kudos. But how did you come across that Yorkshire tea recipe?
Well, no, we drink Yorkshire tea. So one day I put some little cups and saucers out for mice by one of the cottages on a little table, and I put that mix in it. So I just thought when I was filming them, I just said, "Oh, they're having the Yorkshire tea," and it's
Oh,
stuck ever since. That was 3 years ago.
oh my,
So yeah, I call it Yorkshire tea. It's a special mix I make them, as I say, from natural products, really. But it seems to help them, and they have a real taste for it. They do love it.
I bet. I was asking about the Yorkshire tea because here in America, not many people may know exactly what that is. And
Hmm.
so gathering a little bit more information could be useful for my
Hmm.
audience.
Yeah,
Is your
Yorkshire tea is a tea brand round here. Like you've got PG Tips, Tetley. Yorkshire tea is a tea that a lot of people in Yorkshire drink, because I'm obviously from Yorkshire. Um, and all I did was I called the special mix that I make the mice Yorkshire tea. So
yeah.
maybe hoping that Yorkshire tea would contact me and sponsor me.
Hey, they might. And then a part of the proceeds could go to Alzheimer's research. You never know.
Yeah. That would be utterly amazing. That really would.
Goodness, it
Yeah.
absolutely would.
But it's just, as I say, it's just been a whirlwind 4 years, really. I mean, I had a book published in 2021 all about the mouse family. That were absolutely mind-blowing. That, and even Waterstones, the bookstore, it was the biggest online book retailer in UK. I couldn't believe it when they stopped it, and I thought, wow.
That is
Amazing.
incredible. I know that Easter is coming up. If you celebrate, are the mice going to be celebrating as well?
Oh yeah, there'll be little Easter eggs painted. They'll be having a painting competition. Yeah, there'll be lots of Easter treats. As you know, even during Christmas, all Christmas trimmings were out. The Christmas trees were up. I had the Christmas lights up for the mice. So yeah, I like to get them involved, make them all. I think at Christmas it made them all festive. Yeah, come Easter, they'll enjoy Easter. I'm not saying they're going to be having chocolate. They won't. They'll probably have that Yorkshire tea mix, but yeah, there'll be little Easter eggs. They'll have the little Easter eggs. I think that's a video I'm planning. So
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see it. Things have been incredibly chaotic here, so I admit I've not been able to keep up with your work and your page as much as I want to.
yeah,
But I look forward to when things settle down over here so that I can get back to that. Because for a while it was part of my daily routine. And it was some of my
yeah,
favorite time during my day, and I miss it. So to hear that there's gonna be an Easter celebration of sorts over there, oh my goodness,
yeah.
be so happy.
Brilliant.
Yes. So how did you originally get into photography as a person?
Well, I used to help a friend many years ago doing wedding photography.
Okay.
I did that for a couple of years, but I weren't really interested in photographing people. I did it, and I did quite a good job.
Yeah.
I much preferred wildlife, and as wildlife takes me to a place, as I say, it's my relaxation place. No matter how busy a day I've had, if I pick my camera up, off I go. I used to go before we went in lockdown. I were in Peak District every single day, and I used to go out photographing wildlife up there, stags rutting on Big Moor. Anything I could find, I'd photograph. I've travelled length and breadth of Britain, Scotland, photographing wildlife. I just found a passion for it. I then entered a few competitions a few years ago. I won with a swan image I won National Geographic traveller competition, wildlife competition back in 2014, 2015. So that was quite amazing. I don't always enter competitions, but it was nice to win something. And it was nice for other people to see your work. But yeah, it's, as I say, it's just amazing, really. Photography is my release from the real world. We've got that many troubles around the world, as you're aware. And again, with the mice, they help a lot of people out of that. Just for that short period of time, you can be eloped into that little bubble. just watching the mice and forget about all the troubles of the world.
Yes,
And
I
that's
love
what it's
that.
all about.
I love that. And I personally am big into the idea of embracing one's own small world, one's own small corner, and making that as beautiful and effective and efficient as possible. And I think that that will spread outwards into the greater world. So
Yes.
I think therefore what you're doing is especially vital during these times. And again, I can't applaud you enough for spreading that mindfulness and that majesty, that
Mm.
connection to nature, my friend. And I know that you said you do have to run, so I'd like to, of course, respect that. But in the meantime, is there anything else that you would like to say? And could you please kindly also tell us all where we can buy your book and support you online, all of that good stuff?
Well, I don't know if there's many books left now, but waterstones.co.uk, if you just search the mouse family that live by the Brambles, I think they still have some in stock
Oh,
online, but
okay.
it's called Waterstones, the bookstore, the biggest bookstore in United Kingdom. And yeah, I mean, I do a calendar each year. Obviously, I've none left this year, but I do a calendar each year, and they help me feed all the wildlife in the garden, the bit of profit I make, and I donate to Alzheimer's as well. So it's a win-win situation. But I mean, if I know lots of people are on Facebook, some people are on TikTok, but you can find the Mouse family over on TikTok. You can find me over on Instagram. As I say, it's all about putting a smile on people's face, Tilly, and if there's a lot of people I get, which is it really is beautiful. I get loads of messages from people saying, I've had depression, I've got depression, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. And then I watch your mice. Wow, thank you very much. And you take them out of that bit for that, even if it's just a short period of time, a few minutes, that can help people in a massive way, and it really can. I don't know if I should be saying this really, but I
Okay,
know
I
she
can
won't
handle
mind me.
it.
I know she won't mind me telling you, but 2.5 years ago, so I was contacted from someone in Netherlands. Netherlands
Yeah.
in Europe, and she said to me, this was what she said. She sent me a message saying, "I've just found your page and your glorious videos and photos," and she says, "I were on the verge of giving up." I can't go
Oh,
into too much detail,
sure, sure.
but ever since then, she messages me once a month telling me she's all right and everything else, and she's done that ever since. And the mice, watching the mice, and I said I'd do something on a video when I make videos or when I'm doing live videos, I always have a certain mention, and she knows that I'm giving her a mention even though I'm not mentioning her name. And I think that to save one person has been worthwhile, because it's as I say, we do live in troubled times, and people, get stressful in such a long different ways. And as I said, when she contacted me, I was distraught. I didn't know what to say. I was panicking. She's obviously a long way away in another country. But then after conversation with her and watching videos, etc., and to know that I've turned her around. So that's absolutely amazing. And it makes my heart swell, that does. It really does. So, yeah, it's brilliant. So I wanted to just mention that. I don't mention it very often, but
Okay. No, I'm absolutely happy to have that in the interview. And I think that it is crucial to acknowledge these types of tales and these true stories, because the world is tough right now. And I think that humanity is at a pretty important point in its development. And it seems to me like humankind is too self-involved right now and too
yes,
disconnected
yes.
from nature. And if what you're doing can genuinely help cure someone and inspire them to reconnect with themselves and with nature and the glory of life, I'm all for that. And of course, I don't know her name. I've never met this lady or communicated with her, but I will be sure to leave this in the interview. And I would like to say, hello, my friend. I promise you, my dear, you are not alone. Life has meaning, and I think that you've found some of it. So with all of that being said, we are now out of time, everyone. All of the links will be down in the description box below. Please kindly support Gerald on his quest to bring more beauty, meaning, and connection to this world. I have been Tilly Treadwell. This is Gerald. He is a good friend of the mouse family that lives by the Brambles. And we wish you all a merry morning or a magical midnight.